Attention Austin musicians and music industry professionals. Are you having a difficult time navigating these tricky waters? Well, the Austin Music Foundation is here to help you. The Austin Music Foundation is a nonprofit dedicated to strengthening and connecting the local music community with innovative programs that empower musicians, music industry professionals, and music businesses within Austin's creative economy. With expert panels, consultations, mentoring, and mixers, AMF's programs provide the necessary tools and opportunities to help the Austin music industry succeed. Now look, ever since COVID took over last year, everything's moved online. The consultations are online. They're at no cost to the artist or to the music industry professional. Just go to austinmusicfoundation.org. That's austinmusicfoundation.org to find out how they can help you. Austin Music Foundation is here to help. Hey gang, it's Johnny. I just want to take a second to talk to you guys about engagement. Right now you're listening to the show, and I'm not sure exactly what platform you're listening to it on. But whatever platform you're listening to it on, you can subscribe to it and get an alert every time a new show drops, usually every Tuesday and every Friday. New shows every Tuesday and every Friday. Whatever platform you're listening on, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Overcast, Stitcher, any platform, you can subscribe to it. And if you can leave a comment, leave a star, share it on your social media if it's something that you like, please do that. We encourage you to do that. And also, as far as social media goes, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Johnny Gowdy on Instagram and Twitter. Give us a follow. Also, you can like our Facebook page. How did I get here? Please do. Anyway, all I want to say is, you like a show, share it, use the hashtag How Did I Get Here Pod. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and engage. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here are your hosts,
Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys have all had a good week, whatever it is you did this week. It's been a crazy week. Everyone just kind of getting back to normal after South by Southwest, getting your ducks back in a row, getting your businesses back in order, booking your gigs again, getting back into regular life. You know, no more parties on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. That those days are gone, man. They won't be back until next year. I read a really great piece that Andy Langer just put on social media. It's easier to read on Facebook, but it's a very long post, but it's like a regular article, and it's just kind of like summing up South by Southwest 2023, and also kind of like what it was like against the other South by Southwests, mostly 2022 and 2019, and just kind of like how South by South, you know, I didn't realize, because you know there is an influx of people. But I didn't realize that like the film and tech part really is outperforming attendance wise the music part, and that the music part was kind of a little dead this year. I didn't realize that, and I didn't realize that there were shows like the Austin Music Foundation South by Southwest show that we did last Friday on March 17th. That was an official South by Southwest show, but you didn't need a badge or a wristband to get in. So really then, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of see there's some, it needs to, basically Andy's story, and it made a lot of sense to me, was that they need to restructure South by Southwest for modern times and the future. It's weird, man, because this show is a music show, and if you're listening to this show, you're probably a music fan, right? So we're all music fans. Music affects us in a way. Music kind of like, a lot of us come from a time when music drove the culture. You know what I mean? Like music kind of dictated, like after Elvis, music and musicians kind of dictated the culture. Like people grew their hair long after Elvis and the Beatles, and people, you know, all the way up to like, you know, the 90s, people dressed in grunge clothes, like started wearing flannel, because it kind of, it pushed popular culture, and it was driven by music and the musicians that made the music and the styles that they had, and sort of their ideas behind what they were doing. You know, you can see that in like the sort of the jock rock, rap rock scene that was happening in the early 2000s and late 90s. There was a real toughness to it. Those dudes didn't have shirts on. You know what I mean? It's like a real, music used to drive the culture. Same reason why MTV stopped showing videos, because kids stopped responding to it. They wanted to watch reality shows. They didn't want to watch videos. If they wanted to watch videos, they would show videos. That's the thing. That's sort of the interesting position that we're in. People that make music, people that are in music as a business, is that we're in a point where music's importance to the culture has diminished somewhat. I mean, it still holds, like, music still makes people feel good. People still go to concerts and stuff. But even the concert going experience, like these big festivals, maybe someone's going there to see one or two bands. And granted, there are music fans that are going there to see all the bands that are playing and to get exposed to new music and keeping up with new music and seeing some of their old favorites. That's how these festivals are structured. But if you look on how people go to it, a lot of it isn't like a photo of the band playing. It's a photo of this person that's attending it, that's taking a photo of themselves in front of this band, basically like the experience is I was there. That's what I want to convey. Not that I saw this amazing concert and had my mind blown, but I didn't miss out on this cool thing that everyone else was at. You know what I'm saying? It seems like that seems equally as important as the music and the people that make music, which has changed a lot over the years. So anyway, I don't even know what point I was going to make with that, except for the fact that South by Southwest needs to sort of like restructure itself. And I agree with my friend Andy Langer, my dear old friend Andy Langer, who wrote that article or wrote that piece on his social media. If you follow Andy, go out there and find it. You know what I'll do? I will repost it on our How Did I Get Here Facebook page, because I did find it quite moving and interesting and interesting to see. There's a lot of music festivals. Let me tell you guys, I want to talk about a particular festival that's coming up pretty soon in April. I want to talk to you guys about the 36th annual Old Settlers Music Festival taking place April 20th through April 23rd. That's a Thursday through a Sunday this year, 2023, at Old Settlers Homestead. You can find out more about this by going to oldsettlersmusicfest.org. oldsettlersmusicfest.org. They're going to have an amazing lineup of music people. They've been doing this for 36 years, and it's a really great, it's like a music fans festival. Like, this isn't like a bullshit, festival where they're throwing up these people. This is like a real deal. Like, people that love music really identify with these mostly Americana artists, but a lot of different kind of artists. This year's lineup is amazing. Features Yola, The Wood Brothers, Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway, Elephant Revival, Tommy Emmanuel, Shovels and Rope, Shiny Ribs, good friends of our show here, Nigel Wern, Tiger Alley, Leyline, good friends of the show as well, Sunny War, Flounders Without Eyes, Supper Party, and today's guest, Scott Strickland. Yeah, that's right. My old friend Scott Strickland makes his third appearance on the show today, and we talk about his what he's going to be doing at the Old Settlers Music Fest. He'll be playing on Friday, April 21st at 11 p.m. at the Old Settlers Music Festival. So if you want to go to the Old Settlers Music Festival taking place at Old Settlers Homestead, April 20th through 23rd, go to oldsettlersmusicfest.org. I will put a link to it in the text of this podcast. You can click right on it and go get yourself some tickets. I want to thank them for sending Scott over here. Also, my friends at Juice Consulting for sending Scott over here to have this conversation. They were like, hey, we want to talk about the 36th annual Old Settlers Music Fest. You want to talk to someone from the lineup? And I was like, want to talk to Scott Strickland, baby. I do. So, get your tickets for Old Settlers Music Festival by going to oldsettlersmusicfest.org. Get involved, get out there and see our friend Shiny Ribs, Leyline, and today's guest, Scott Strickland. That's right, gang. Scott Strickland is my guest on the show today. He is making his third appearance on the show. The first time was virtual. He came in last year when he was putting out his self-titled album, Scott Strickland, fantastic record produced by Eric Harrison and Michael Ingber, my dear friends. And as I said, he will be playing on Friday, April 21st at the Old Settlers Music Festival at 11 p.m. You can find out more about him by going to scottstricklandband.com. That's scottstricklandband.com. Today, he's actually playing tonight with our dear friend of the show as well, Natalie Price, and a friend of mine at the Kala Performance Space in Astoria, Oregon. He's doing a bunch of shows with Natalie Price up in the Northwest. They'll be playing Seattle. They'll be playing Bellevue. You can go to scottstricklandband.com if you live up in that area to find out more about it. Scott and I have a great conversation. It goes off on some tangents. I was a little bit hungover. I'm not going to lie. I was a little hungover when he came over on Tuesday, so we we had some laughs, but our conversation goes off in tangents. But he's always such a great conversation, always so great talking to Scott. He's such a sweet dude. He's such an open dude. He does a lot of he's a community activist. He's out there doing stuff for the community, trying to help everybody out. He's playing a lot of shows, going from playing, we talk a great conversation about how weird it is to be in show business and be a working musician. Like if you're not actually on a tour, you can be headlining like Old Settlers Music Festival or playing at 11 p.m. at this cool ass music festival one day and then playing at a Mexican restaurant the next because you got to you got to keep on playing and making money. So anyway, we have a lot of conversations about that, about how odd this is and how to get through music. Scott started late in music. Like he didn't start when he was like a 13 or 14 like I did and a lot of people did. He started as a grown-up and started trying to get out there and do it, and he's doing a great job of it. He's a great songwriter. He's an amazing singer, fantastic musician. You can see him playing around by going to scottstricklandband.com. If you live in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, he'll be playing in Astoria tonight with Natalie Price. That's Friday, March 24th at the Cala Performance Arts Space, and tomorrow night, Saturday, March 25th at Weeping Cedar House Concert in Seattle, Washington, and next Thursday, March 30th at Resonance Events in Bellevue, Washington. All right, that's my dear friend Scott Strickland out on the road with my dear friend Natalie Price. Also, gang, if you live in Austin, go see him Friday, April 21st at 11 p.m. at the Old Settlers Music Festival. All right? So, gang, without further ado, this is me and my friend Scott Strickland chatting it up. Chatting it up, baby. Let's get down.
Saying that you want to go back to LA, saying that you want to quit your job, saying it drives you crazy. Taking everything that I gave you away, even all of the hearts, all the cards, all the letters on your birthday. Could have had me in the summertime, wind blows and the breeze is fine. California sky getting high on a Saturday afternoon. Saying that
yeah, we're going to get into this because last time you were here a year ago.
Yeah.
Like around a year ago.
That was about a year. Yeah, you're right.
You Smell Quintanilla, and your record was about to come out, the self-titled album, which I listened to again today. That's a great record, man.
Thank you.
Nice
so
job.
Much. Yeah. Alex Vallejo said I made the white album. He said, how are you going to replicate that on stage? How are you going to do that? I was like, we'll figure it out. We're good. Got a good crew.
Because of the Steely Dan vibe of it.
Right.
We talked about that. I remember talking about that with you. And then listening to it today, I was like, oh, yeah, this is like, you're kind of like the most Steely Dan dude in town that I know. I mean, but those guys, those Eric Harrison and Ingber and
Mike Ingber, yeah.
and Andy Nolte.
Yep.
Those guys aren't afraid of Steely Danning.
They're not.
They'll steal any Dan you got, man.
That is very true. And I got to say, I like that comparison too. I know I said it last time, but I love Steely Dan too. I just think they're great.
Yeah. All right. So you're playing the Old Settlers Music Festival, the 36th annual, and you're playing alongside some pretty amazing people. Yola, the Wood Brothers, Shiny Ribs. They're still amazing.
Yeah.
Sunny War. Well, even though we know them and they're our friends,
oh, yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and I know you did a show with them at Moody,
right,
and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. They're
still famous.
They're still famous, and it seems like they're picking up steam.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, I think that for like a career, like band career at that kind of a level, you would think that they're just like kind of a plateau or something or whatever. Like they're literally picking up steam, and it's really good to see what Kevin and those guys are doing.
Yeah,
and he's got a good crew.
Yeah,
behind him.
You're picking up steam. You're playing like at 11 on Friday, full band.
No, just me.
Wow.
Well, me and Eddie, my guitarist.
All right.
So we're in this. I'm really excited for that because it's the first time that we're going to be out there. That I'm going to have him with me, and it's just so weird not having him accompany me on. It's weird doing solo gigs, so it's really great that he's going to be there.
What's weird about it for you?
Because usually, okay, so there's two types of solo gigs, right? There's like the restaurant gig where I'm just going to go and get the money, and no one's listening, and that's actually a really cool thing because I can just do whatever I want.
But now you're playing like a listening festival.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. But the other side of that, the solo spectrum is everyone's hanging on literally every single word. Like I did a house concert just last week, and Sue, a friend of mine who I've come to know as a friend, she's in Sonic Guild, Black Fret Sonic Guild. She said, well, yeah, this is going to be a few of my friends and some family members and stuff. And, it'll be low key and chill. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Cool. Like 60, 65 people were like literally,
That's a lot for that sort of intimacy.
That's a lot. And apparently I did a good job. So that's good. But it's those kinds of, you don't really know what you're going to get with a solo gig sometimes, in my opinion. And I don't do them very often, but I'm starting to do them more.
Right.
Because, for one, it's just, I'm working on new material. It's economically sound. It's, I don't know. I kind of like the attention.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Have you been to these Old Settlers festivals?
I have not.
Never?
I have not. And I have like a question, I guess. Is it like Burning Man light kind of thing? Or is it nothing even close to that?
I don't think it's... I've never known it as a druggie. See?
Okay, well, yeah.
Is it like Burning Man?
I don't know. I don't know what happens out there.
No, there's camping.
Yeah.
There's camping and stuff. I was looking at it today. I guess I've had people on here in the years past that like in this way to talk about the festival,
right,
and about their own thing. But you're up with some greats. Also, like locals, do you know Leyline and Matt the electrician and guys like that?
I do. Yeah. Matt and I had a really great talk about. We just geeked out about some gear.
Oh yeah,
a little bit ago. It was just, yeah.
What kind of gear? Recording gear?
It was live gear, like Bose PA systems.
Is that what you got in the mail for free?
That is what I got in the mail. Ironically, I had talked to him about it, and then I went to go do this thing with Hotspot, and Hotspot and Bose are like partners and doing some stuff. But they had this thing at Dell, and so I went there to kind of give my testimony on Bose, and because I have this L1S Pro system, and it's like it's amazing.
Oh,
and
the tree thing.
Yeah,
those things are awesome.
Those things are like incredible. It was well worth it. It was like $3,200 with the tone match and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Man, it was so worth it. And so I did a testimony thing, and then Justin Hubfreeze was like, "Hey, you can, we'll send you one for you doing this. Also, in addition to paying you, we'll send you a sound system." And I'm like, "Wow, okay, I'll take that."
God, man, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it?
I know.
It's feast or famine, baby.
It is. I'm waiting for the famine.
Don't wait for the famine. Don't anticipate the famine.
I know. I'm trying I'm trying to figure it out because I think that. I don't want to get too into weeds with this stuff, but summer is scaring me. Like summer was like just such a drought last year,
and this summer's very busy.
I don't know yet. I'm booked up a little bit. Like I'm booking some dates now, which is great. I don't know, probably have 4 or 5 dates, so far, like every month, which is good, and it's well paying.
God, that's great, man.
So that's good. But it's all solo stuff. Because I'm just like doing like the rotating restaurant residency kind of thing or something, and we're looking at showcases and all that. But it's I'm just paying the bills. It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't complain about that.
There's a funny thing about show business because there really is like this balance where one day you're going to be playing like at 11 o'clock at this festival in front of, I don't know how many people are going to be there, but a lot of people, way a lot of people. And then like the next week at some restaurant in the corner where no one's listening. It's crazy.
It's really weird.
I love show business.
Yeah.
It's always like that. There's always just some weird, if you're working, you're doing a bunch of weird shit. Right.
And and so many people, because when I got into this full-time realm last year, I was like, I don't get it. Like we damn near sold out Paramount stateside. Like we've got Blues on the Green coming. Like where are the other gigs? Like what am I missing? And so many people that are like really well established people, they're just like, look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
this is what you do.
this is rock and roll. Yeah.
You book a bunch of restaurant stuff, just book whatever kind of gigs you can to like cover your ass,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. Don't post about it. It's a fly by night kind of thing. You just go and do what you're going to do. And
You're
then,
a working musician.
and you are a working musician at that point. And then for the things that you want people to come out to,
Yeah.
you talk about them because you need to do that. And you can't do both because then they'll go to the free shit and they won't come to the stuff that you really want them to come to.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. And so after
Yeah.
that, it was, 4 or 5 months of trying to drum up enough work to have that happen.
Right. It's funny
You know?
because there's still things about this that are new for you.
Yeah.
This business.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. Like I'm not.
It's weird that you have the resilience as an adult because, like, if I had to start as an adult, I would have been too fragile. Like, as a kid, you're like, what the fuck do I care? I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at that picture. That's 14-year-old me with the guitar on. Wow. And, like, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
And listen, that band and that performance, it must have been so bad, dude. Look at that confidence, man.
Yep. Yep.
It's just funny because I feel like, I mean, I love that you make things happen for yourself, and then that sort of inertia, that sort of natural movement knocks other things moving into place.
It's weird. It's a really weird space to be in, but I'd rather, I don't know. I don't know if I could ever do an office job. After COVID, I got laid off from teaching in 2020. And I'm just like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of putting my life in someone else's hands, my career or whatever. I'm tired of it. Like, I just want to call my own shots and do my own thing. And I think having that control is, it's kind of nerve wracking, but it is, it's rewarding. It's good. I mean,
it can be rewarding.
Yeah. And I mean, but if I don't do anything, nothing happens. So that's the really terrifying part.
Right. What you just said there is the thing that I've and I guess a lot of us have lived as. I mean, a lot of our family, Kevin, Russell from Shiny, was like all of our sort of like Austin music family. It's like it's like my uncle that's like, aren't you worried about retirement? I'm like, what the fuck am I going to retire from? This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, unless I couldn't play or sing anymore,
I literally
or
couldn't
talk to people anymore, then then I'll retire. But like, McCartney didn't retire. He's got plenty of money. Elton's not, they're just now because they got to where they're like 80.
Right.
And they're like, okay, cool. I think I'm going to cool out from going on like 6-month tours of the world.
Yes.
They're still going to play. They're still going to do stuff. There's not, but there is that sort of like life choice where you realize like, I don't want to live every day sort of in misery for like Saturday and Sunday to not have to do that. Like, then your life just kind of turns into this weird thing. And 1 week a year you go somewhere neato.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and like for people that have the 9 to 5, all that, I'm not knocking people that do that stuff, or
not at all.
We need them, but I think, I kind of just reached this point. I was talking to Mike Ingber about, I talked to Mike Ingber a lot. We're really close, and he's, we play together, and he, very involved artistically. And he said, I just, like, I'm too far in. Like, I'm too...
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're just...
what am I going to go to law school now?
Right, exactly.
Like,
yeah, you are like, you're too far in. It's going to cost you more to get out of the game, or it's going to do more damage or whatever to get out of this thing than to just stay in it and keep going. You might as well just, just stick this thing out and just see, just take the lazy river and just ride it and see where it goes. Cause it's, I don't know.
Man, that's what people pay to go see. Yeah. Like, not just somebody whose music they like, but that shit comes out in your music. Right. Like that dedication and that, like, all right, well, I'm in it. I'm just going to keep on making stuff and putting it out. Hopefully you'll keep buying it.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And I'm writing all these like really great tunes, and I'm like, where's the money for the next record going to come from? It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, it's just, like there's not like, I'm walking. I'm totally walking in faith. I'm just like walking, knowing that, what I've been doing is good. I can learn from things. I can do better things. I can be a better person. I can be a better musician, better artist. But in the meantime, this is the learning phase, and I'm never going to stop learning, really. But I think that there's something, I don't know, there's something about the mystery of it that's very alluring to me. That's very just, I'm intrigued to see where this goes, not knowing, where it could go.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
You're following the journey. And that's the thing is like, at least you know what it's about. You're not like, oh, it's about this end game, retiring or getting a trophy or a gold watch. And like, thank you for your service. Now go to sleep.
Yeah.
You're getting to do some really neat things. When this comes out on Friday, you'll be out in Oregon.
Yes.
With Natalie Price.
That's correct. Yes. And I still...
How's she doing? I haven't seen her in a long time.
She's great. She's awesome. We talk just about every day, making sure that we're stitched up and, planning things out. And
what is this? How did this tour come about?
So
what is it?
There is... I'm trying to figure out. So
like Visit Austin or something like that?
No, it's not. And I need to, talk to Omar because I just did a gig with him during South by, and that was really cool. So I want to talk with him and figure out that stuff out. But this was like, again, this goes back to the summer. And I'm like, just the idea is to do a turnaround trip when it gets too hot here and no one's doing anything outside, possibly.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, Seattle, Portland, that's a really good, place to, go and play shows.
Yeah.
It's an awesome place. It's another music hub. I mean, Ian Moore's got the same thing, Smash out there. It's healthcare for musicians. All
Are you friends with him?
I am not. We've never spoken. He
I was just about to say I'm not either.
He like gave me a look. We were walking past each other backstage at ACL because he was presenting an award and I was getting a grant, and he just looked at me, and that was it. I think he's a hell of a guitar player. I saw him at Soko Stomp.
Yeah,
he was
he's a great songwriter too.
Great songwriter.
Oh, you were at that show?
I was at that show. Yeah. I was there. Yeah. And
I played with him. We've been friends since high school, and I was in his band for a while, like, I don't know, 11 or 12 years ago.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm sure he's a great guy. I just, we haven't like had the opportunity, I think, to speak yet. We were also walking past each other.
Right.
And everything was just, crazy busy, of course. So
he said he shot you a look. I was going to say,
it was a
he
look.
shot me a look a couple times on stage.
It was a look. I don't know what it was. I was just like, that do something? I'm not sure. But I'm sure it was just busy or something or whatever. I don't know. But I'm sure that whenever we have the opportunity to get together, it'll be great.
I love him. I wish I could see him more.
Yeah.
I miss him. That tour that I did with him was my favorite time I've ever been on tour. It was because the group that he had put together of people and kind of how he handles himself in life is a joy to be around.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I don't really like to say nice things about people.
What? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad.
I love him. No.
I'm not saying anything bad about him.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not.
That was just like that was just a thing. And I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's intense. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay. And that was it. Like,
I wasn't meaning to make you feel like
Yeah. What did you play when
I played guitar and keyboards and did a lot of backing vocals. There's a record he made called To Be Loved.
Okay.
That's really very in my wheelhouse of music. It's like a power pop record that he made.
Okay.
And he was wanting to get another person, and we've known each other for years and played together and toured opening for his band and stuff for years. We had the same manager in the early 90s and stuff, and so we've always done a lot of shit together, and I love him a lot. But I played that. I played weird shit. I played like omnichord on some songs and like weird keyboard stuff. And I got to do like all the cool, like there were real cool guitar lines and shit that he had to sing, so I got to play like some really bitchin' like guitar stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway,
cool.
and God, you know, but being standing next to that guy every night
Yeah.
for months, you know, I've always gone to see him, and I've always loved seeing him play, and I've always thought he was a tremendous performer. But being able to sort of like
On stage with him.
be in that energy with him, and like, oh, that's how he does it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I see what he's doing.
I will say that because I've seen like, you know, a few stories of his, you know, where he's like playing guitar or something. But I you know, at the SoCo Stump show that I was just at watching him, like the way he plays guitar like someone would sing.
Yeah.
You know, he like the way that he,
Great singer, too.
I just like, he's such like an emotional,
Yeah.
powerful guitar player.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's not trying to like shred just to show off. He's not trying to do all that stuff, that blah, 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 whatever. He's like in it. And he's like, this is what I'm saying with this instrument.
Right.
And he's a master at it.
I feel like that's the real thing that, like, whenever people would compare him to Stevie Ray or something like that, what I get in that comparison where I'm like, oh yeah, it's that sort of translation of emotion
Yeah.
from the heart to the fingers.
He's
know?
he's better than Stevie Ray. He's better than Stevie Ray.
When we go walking later and I walk by that statue, I'm going to tell that statue you said that. All right. So this tour with Natalie,
Yeah.
you're going up there in hopes that you guys will go back together.
Yeah, I think
it?
so. We haven't quite figured that part out yet, but so Amped Up is also another company.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
And Natalie introduced me to them.
Yeah. Holly Hangerman.
Didn't
Yeah.
I see you play at their thing
Yeah,
last year?
That's right.
I did.
Yeah, we did a South by thing.
Boom.
And it was all. Yep. So full circle. So now she's not living in Portland. I mean, she's not living in France anymore. She's living in Portland.
Oh, that's great.
And so we'll be like staying with her, and you know, like she's been helping us like book a few things here and there, or just trying to figure out some logistics and all that stuff.
So is
But
that company still going?
It's yeah. So Four Seasons Hotels Austin. I used to have a residency there.
Oh,
play
yeah,
there,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all the time. And after COVID, some weird stuff happened. Yeah, and I wasn't playing there anymore. It's a long story, but when I started to want to get back into it, there's this other company. They're out of Florida, and they book all the acts for that hotel. Not just that hotel, but it's also a couple of other hotels, like in San Antonio and some other places and stuff.
Oh, so once you get
It's
in
like-
their thing, in their system, you can go around and play like the San Antonio. Or they?
Well, yes, but it's like it's this other booking company that doesn't. I mean, they don't pay nearly what Four Seasons used to pay. So they're. I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those things. And so and like when I was at SoCo Stump, I was hearing, you know, from some people about like what's happening with a lot of venues and a lot of you know, festivals and stuff. Like it's just a lot of money changing hands and venues getting bought and companies buying them, and you know, like there's this whole thing that's happened where it's not just like this mom and pop little venue bringing this act through anymore. It's a
Right.
very
Right. It's a
business-
corporate.
It's
a
yeah.
corporate setup, and
Yep.
so in that, then the artist doesn't end up making more money.
Exactly.
Is what ends up happening.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I mean, Amped Up, you know, like, you know, that company has a great model, but it's running uphill because there's a lot of other people that I think that are trying to do the same thing. And plus it's like you said, you know, if this venue still operates the way that it does, you know, like, you know, why would they want to change their model, you know, for this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's,
I mean, yeah.
you know,
I don't. I thought she had a really good idea,
it's an amazing idea.
and
It's an
I
amazing
just
idea.
I didn't know how it would work, but I also don't know how things like that work because I'm not like a guy that comes up with those ideas.
Right. Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I mean, it seems, you know, like if you could have venues, and I don't want to go into the whole soapbox thing with it, but I mean, if you could have like, you know, a website where you could like go and be like, oh, well, let's route a tour and let's see who's doing this and all this other stuff. It's just basically, it's like Facebook basically for venues and musicians to
Right.
get together and kind of figure some stuff out. Why not do that? And that's basically what Amped Up is.
Right.
And it's, to my knowledge, the only one that's that's legitimately doing it. The problem is that, I think there's a lot of pushback with other venues and,
Sure.
Just all that legwork and stuff. And,
There's also the thing about booking and having a booking agency of any kind is that there is a disparity between these gigs. Like, when you did the O4 Center with Ray Prim,
yeah.
did you guys? You don't have to answer. I'm not going to get into numbers,
Go for
but
it.
did you guys split the We're gonna
Even.
Okay, Ray this
And we
Scott,
both-
and you guys pay your bands.
And we both made money, and we both had net from that, like good net from that.
Right, but financially, compared to the other gigs that you play that are ticketed, it's hard to make that kind of money. So therefore,
Yes.
like somebody booking that and getting 15 to 20% of that, it's not even worth their time. If you're making like $100 and they have to do all these fucking calls,
Right.
it's for 15 to $20, then what are they doing?
It's a numbers game.
It is a numbers game.
It's like
Yeah.
if you have a lot of them on board, then it makes sense because you're taking it's like $100 here. If you book 10 acts in one night,
Right.
and you're grossing at least 1,000 or I don't know, like whatever.
Right.
It could be a good take for you, but that's a tough road to hoe.
Yeah.
That's a really tough road to hoe. And I will also say this: O4 Center is literally saving local music.
Wow.
They're saving it.
It is Hazmat there?
Hazmat?
Hazmat? This dude, John Haddad?
I've never.
He still goes by Hazmat, right?
I don't think so.
Like hazardous materials.
Yeah. I've never heard. I've talked to Todd there.
Okay. I talked to him about something. And he said he was doing stuff there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know Hazmat. I don't think I know. I don't know him.
Anyway.
Sorry.
So yeah, that place is that I went there for I went there for it was the coolest looking thing I've seen in a long time. It was Madame Radar's record release. Sounded great. They were great, but also there was like this. Were you
The
there
lights
at the thing?
I was there. Yeah. The lights and all that. Yeah, that was a great show. That was an amazing show. They are killing it, man. They are killing it. And Joe James opened up before them too, and he
I missed that guy. Got there during the thing.
yeah, he's got an album coming out. We're actually opening up for him at Antone's in September. That's gonna be
I saw that's going on. Yeah.
He's solid.
So you
Solid.
last time you were on here, you had the stateside booked, and you were nervous, you were making it happen. So you almost sold it out. That was a great show for you, right?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
didn't get to go.
That was a fantastic show. That was a great show.
And so for the rest of the year, then you've been doing all kinds of really great stuff. What was the gig with Shiny Ribs at the ACL?
That was it was an opening gig with me and Tony Camel, who I didn't know who Tony Camel
Love
was.
Tony.
And he's just like the greatest guy.
Great guy.
Most amazing singer.
Yeah.
Most incredible instrumentalist, guitarist guy. It's just, he's just fantastic. And his band is like really good too. I was like, you want me to do what with these guys? No, come on. It was, and we did it. We killed it.
That's awesome.
We killed it. Yeah. Like 2,000 people. That was amazing.
And you did Blues on the Green?
Yeah, Blues on the Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was with Tomar and Shiny. So that was a great thing too. It was awesome, man. It's great. And I miss the band. As of March 21st, 2023, having not really done a full band gig in over a month, I miss the band. I don't know.
You did all this South by yourself?
Yeah. But it's just like it was a bunch of unofficial stuff.
Yeah, that's great though.
Yeah.
Sometimes that stuff pays too.
It does. It does, and it did, and I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, I am. Those gigs were incredible. Like playing, like being on the ACL stage it's something that it's like every musician kind of like. It's like it's exactly what you think it would be.
Yeah. Was it a private thing or was it a?
It was so. I don't know how well. It wasn't a private thing. So okay, I think and I'm not trying to start any rumors or anything here. But Willie Nelson, you probably know more about this than I do. So Willie Nelson used to do this thing, I think, every year at ACL Live, where it was like a New Year's kind of thing or something like that. Or
is that what it was?
I think.
Yeah. And Andy Langer
Yep.
comes out and does Happy New Year.
Right, something like that.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, and Willie's not doing it anymore. And because Willie's not doing it anymore, there's other people that are now doing it, and I think they're trying
So
to.
they
figure
got
out,
like Father Time to come out and give it to Happy New Year. Is that what they were doing? Is that what they were doing with Kevin?
So Kevin did it, and then what was it, Pat Green, Pat Green did it. I think Pat Green was the next night because we did it 30th, and then Pat Green I think was. The 31st.
Okay.
And so
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so I think there's like, because Willie's not doing it anymore,
Right.
You know,
The event still goes. And
the
they
event
get,
still goes,
yeah.
and then people, you know, they get their turn, and
Yeah.
you know,
That's nice.
yeah, and so, and then because of that, you know, Tony and I were able to do ACL.
Yeah.
You know, and I did it twice. I played that stage because we had the Black Fret showcase
right.
also. So I'm, you know, and like I kind of toot my own horn about that privately, but like it was nice to do that twice in a month. That was pretty cool. That was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great thing. But I'm also learning that I need to be realistic about my expectations and my goals and
Right.
like
Because the next day you're at a restaurant.
That's right.
I'm serious.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Dude.
I think I literally had a restaurant gig the next day.
Yeah. Do you know Casey McPherson?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was in a band with him that was called Endosheen.
Okay.
And
that's right. Okay.
And we went to Houston and we were doing like a series of shows, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, culminating with Friday playing the Bud Bowl at the baseball stadium, opening for Stained, like
Oh, wow.
15,000 people, sold out, the whole fucking vibe.
Wow.
So Tuesday was 3 people at a record store. Wednesday was like the equivalent of a restaurant gig where nobody cared. People kept asking us to turn down and they didn't want to hear music and shit like that. Thursday, Casey and I did an acoustic show at this place. And when we walked up to the door, we're like, because it's like 3 different levels.
Yeah.
We're like, hi, we're playing here tonight. And she goes, oh yeah, are you guys the puppeteers or the musicians? And Casey looks at the lady and goes, at this point, we don't even know. Like, we don't know. I think we're musicians. We have guitars, but we're doing so much weird shit every day. We don't even know. And then the next day we're riding out into a golf cart into this, you know, into the baseball stadium in Houston, like Minute Maid Park.
Yep.
and then the next day, like back here playing El Arroyo.
Yeah.
It's just fucking so surreal. But that's show business, man. When you're working, unless you're on a tour doing the same single thing every night, if you're working, even like Bob Dylan, like there's all these things like, oh, why don't Bob Dylan and the Wallflowers play together? But if you look it up, they did. They played privately at an Exxon party.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure that was weird for them. Like,
right.
Well, we're at this thing where nobody knows Bob Dylan songs. They're just like, whoa, look, it's Bob Dylan. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're working, it's weird.
It's weird, man.
It's real weird. But it keeps it exciting.
It's exciting. And what I understand now is, you know, I went through a pretty, like, I don't want to say like terrible financial time, but it was like probably like toughest financial time I've been through since college, like getting into college and, and, you know, having to eat ramen and all that stuff. I mean, my dog was eating better than I was for a couple of weeks there. And like, but that happened because I wasn't, you know, I'm just thinking, well, if I'm doing stateside, if I'm doing Blues on the Green, if I'm doing these things, then of course more things are going to come. I just need to wait for them and, you know, and be smart and not, and be patient. And, you know, it's like, like in the meantime, all these little gigs were coming in like, hey, we want you to play here. We want you to do this. We want you to do that. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I was too good for it. I was too good for it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, Continental Club on a Tuesday? No, sorry, man. I just
couldn't-
played blues on the green.
I can't clean the toilets at Continental Club. I still can't clean the toilets at Continental Club.
Oh, they don't even let you do that.
I mean, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't like asked them, for a show, but
Not
I'm just
mean.
not gonna, I
Tomar has some pretty great shows there, huh?
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He kills it there. He kills it. I've seen him several times there. And so I'm just like now I'm understanding what it is that I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing now, which is I'm buying myself time with gigs that I can have so that I can figure out what's next.
Right.
And that's, and as long as the rent's paid and the bills are paid and all that stuff is good, well, then I have time to figure out, okay, well, what's the next strategy? What's the next, how do we attack this thing next?
Yeah.
But if I don't have those bills paid, then I have to take time to go and find the money to do that,
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. What are we going to do? Okay, well, let's go DoorDash or let's go Uber or let's go do something. And it's like, okay, well, if I can do this stuff over here, I don't have to do that. So it's like,
well, sometimes also like, sometimes it's nice to be able to get your money from something else so you don't resent what it is that you love doing.
right. That's true. That's absolutely
making
true.
you work in a way you didn't want to.
That's
you know
very
what I
true.
mean? And I mean that sounds like I'm being a baby about it, but it does happen. You can. I mean, I've been in that Mexican restaurant scene where you're, drinking too much at the thing, and you know what I mean. Just kind of like trying to get through something as opposed to like really digging in and having a great time.
Right. Right.
But sometimes it does make it easier, so you're more excited to go play music. So
True.
when you go book this show, you're not exhausted from this other thing you were doing.
That's true.
But anyway, look, do you do any regional touring? I mean, do you go to like Dallas and
Looking at it. So looking at it now. So literally that's the next thing on my plate. I'm also talking to Aggie? Todd?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I'm
He
talking
books Ian.
Yeah. So I'm talking with him tomorrow. And I think I'm about to sign. I might sign with Atomic. If he'll have me, I'll sign with him.
that'd be great.
So we'll see what happens. But because I think that's the next thing. If I could take the solo stuff and do that other places, or take the band, because Nick Parr, Selfless Lovers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he's with Atomic also, and
he is?
a couple of other guys. I think Urban Heat's with him. I think so. Yeah, I mean there's some.
Nick's really gotten his thing going, man. That's really good to see.
Yeah,
Proud of that dude.
I'm really happy for him. He's doing some really good work. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I'm also in this really weird phase of writing new stuff and trying to figure out, what. It's exciting. I'm in this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed space right now, where I'm like, ooh, okay, well, what's this? Okay, cool. Well, what if I play this song differently or a different key or whatever? Okay, cool. I could do this. Or who wants to talk to me? Okay, cool. It's just like everything's new right now, and
it's good because you're on an upswing.
Yeah.
Things are.
And I think that, we'll see how long the newness lasts. But,
Yeah.
I think right now I'm in a pretty good space.
So you're going up and doing these shows with Natalie. You guys, you're flying up there to do them?
Yeah, we're flying up there and back. Yeah, and yeah.
There wasn't you didn't want to tour your way up there. That would.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, I just know. It's just it took forever. We have 5-6 shows or something. It took forever to get that shit booked.
Yeah,
it took forever, man. So I also going west, like Santa Fe and all that stuff. I have no idea what's even out there. I don't know.
Well, also going west,
Like-
you can play San Antonio and then it's like 15 hours to the next gig or something.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like,
And then we're like stuck in a car and all that other stuff. My thing was like, let's just do the SEAL Team 6 approach. Let's just drop in. Let's make as much money as we humanly possibly can, and then we'll just fly back.
And then hopefully, in hopes of being able to, if not together, each of you be able to go back and do some of these places again.
Exactly. Make some connections. Build a bridge with Sonic Guild, Seattle out there. We've got a house concert. We got some good gigs.
Oh, did you get a Sonic Guild concert out there?
Well, it's not a Sonic Guild official concert because I don't think they're doing anything. Well, they just released a bunch of artists, granted, so they have a bunch of showcases already planned. But they have connections with this guy Bob Bailey who does house concerts, and
cool.
We're doing that with him.
So did you win one last year?
I did, yes,
And
yeah,
okay, that's good.
yeah. It was $15,000, which I was, we didn't know how much money we were going to get until like Matt put all of us in. It was like, you guys are getting at least 10. I'm like, ooh, great, cool.
Wait,
then,
that was 2022?
That was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, just this past year. And then I got like an artist choice thing or whatnot for an extra $5,000. So that was
That's great.
super
I mean, do
sweet.
you
And
use that for the next record or no?
No, that basically went to pay down some debt from the last one and also get us on tour. And then there's also 3 finish up a music video.
Oh, cool.
Finishing up, I've got another EP that's an acoustic version of the record that has video and all this other stuff with it. So we're trying to get that mixed and mastered right now, and then live at Paramount Stateside. So like those 3 things are happening with that money, and there's a little bit of seed money for an album. But let me tell you something: I'm not making another album until I have the money, all of it. I'm not doing it until I am not gonna piecemeal this thing together again. Like, I'm not doing that shit. That's a mess.
It's hard.
It's hard, man. It's hard. So, I mean, and the other thing too is, I think that in this new age of content, people constantly needing content, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to negotiate, mix and master for, or like tracking, possibly mixing if those people also do mixing, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do it with Mike and Eric again. But then also like, hey, we're going to do a live version of this record too. So you need to build that into this. Like, like we're going to do a live version of it. We're going to do a live album maybe, and just pull all that stuff together and negotiate one big ass contract so that all that money is there and everyone knows what they're doing, and we've got enough content for probably another year or year and a half or so. I think the old model of just, we're just going to make a record and release it, and that's going to be it. I don't know. Like, that's just not, I don't know.
To me, they're like, unless it's a model I don't understand, which is perfectly normal, I don't think there is a model. You know what I mean? I think people are just kind of trying some stuff, and it worked when I tried it like this last year with the one song, and then I did another song the next, and then I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like there's
and it's, I mean, you spend all the money making the record, and then you've got to go, and it's like you've got to do like 2 more projects to accompany this thing over here, because people need to see what it is that you're doing over here. Because this stuff is on Spotify, but you could have this shit on YouTube, and it's just, I don't know. It's
Right. Do you do any kind of Patreon thing or anything?
I do, and that's the next. I've got my live stream thing going on that I'm really trying to hit hard on Mondays, at 8 p.m. I guess that's a plug, and I'm really trying to get people to support the Patreon, because I mean, it's like I've got $40 in recurring revenue right now, and it's like, I mean, obviously it's not really putting a dent in shit. So that, like, I think that's the next model for me, is to figure out how to increase that Patreon and get that going, which I'm pretty sure I could do. But the other problem is it's a whole nother, like,
it's a whole other job.
It's a whole other job.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing. It's like, what, like, I gotta write these songs and put this stuff and bounce it out and put this shit up there, and I've got, it's like,
I had this great idea, and I was gonna do it, and then I like out of the blue, like right before, like maybe the week before, I was actually gonna throw down and like just get into this and start this Patreon. I talked to Jeff Plankenhorn, and I was like, "Oh, you have a Patreon, right?" And dude, by the end of it, I was like, "I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. That sounds because I mean, dude, that guy was like under the gun." Like I got to get to this place and get this other thing to make sure that they have the song in time because you know what I mean? It's just like, shit, man.
Yeah.
That sounds really stressful.
It's extremely stressful. And while you're trying to like look for gigs to pay the rent, that's like, it's like, what do you want to do first? It's like you're constantly in triage mode. Like I am in triage mode all the time. There's a stabbed jugular over here. There's a gunshot over here. This person's leg's about to fall off over here. And it's just let me go suture this shit real quick and do this over here and do that over there. I mean, it's a constant, like there's always something to do.
Right.
And I'm there. It's not chaos at all because it's the things to do are not very hard to do. But when you have 8 or 9 things, and they're all not difficult, but they all need to be done.
Right.
It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
need a paper bag to breathe in real quick.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Whatever happened to Natalie Price's album? She made this cool album.
I think it's still happening. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think it's still being mastered or something. It's not out. I know it's not. I know for a fact it's not out yet. Yeah. But she's whatever. I know. So Natalie Price is one of the smartest people that I know musically because I think that she's trying to do everything that she can to either shop it around or have people look at it or listen to it or something.
That's a good idea.
Before she starts releasing anything at all.
It's
because
great.
Once you start, you've heard it.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, once you start dripping singles and stuff.
She was in our artist development program, and she had just finished that album. And had sent it to us to listen to.
Gotcha. That's cool. I'm pretty sure she's still going to do something with it, but
man, what patience.
Yeah. That girl is disciplined.
Because she's also pretty prolific as a writer too, right? She's always writing songs.
Yep.
Natalie Price.
Yeah. I mean,
we got to cut a tune together, and that was really, really fun.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
When
Cool.
she did the stuff at Austin Music Foundation, like it was stupid. I was just playing like a Mellotron thing, but she was playing and singing live, and I was doing the thing. But we were like the main track.
Yeah. Aw.
We cut it together. It was real fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, she's I find her to be. I feel like that's someone like you, like somebody that has a real future in music if you can find the lane. That's just a matter of if all the stars line up for you guys, you could really make it.
I think at this point I think we're building the freeway or something.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. And the funny thing is it just never ends, the problems just become different problems, but it's always triage, like if you're I can't even think of a band that's famous right now. Guns N' Roses or something. Right. And you're touring. There's, even right now, they're having some kind of thing. There's a guy freaking out about something.
Right.
So.
That's true.
It's somewhere in the Guns N' Roses camp, there's a guy freaking out about something. How long are you playing at the Old Settlers Fest?
An hour.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Are you the last guy that night?
No, there's one more after us.
Shit, man, those Old Settlers stay up late.
I know. Well, I mean, and the guy that's after us, I haven't checked out his music or anything, but he's got like, I was, like because we're doing like I guess they call it like the late night slot or something like that. But there's some really like legit people.
Oh yeah.
That are doing that late night slot, and I'm like, okay. We got to rehearse.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it's going to be okay. Like we'll just be like on like a little stage or something, and then people are going to be going to bed. But we'll just be there, kind of thing, just to have us there. I don't think so. I think it's gonna. I have no idea what it's like.
Whoever's up at 11 to watch that. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're a fan. Yeah. They're like a fan of music, and they're looking for it. And I know that those things, like, it seems like this is not a diss towards any other festival, but you
Right.
get a giant festival. Take, for instance, like a Lollapalooza. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is you're going there. Maybe there's a band. Maybe there's a band you want to see, and you want to get your selfie in front of the thing. This kind of festival, to me, just by the lineup and sort of the quality of the line, this is like a thing where music fans are going.
Right.
They want to hear new music in the style that they already like, so they're going to this place that has this sort of, you know what I mean, has this reputation. And I think that ones like this are probably. It's just easier to get fans because those people are actually, they're not there to be seen.
Right.
You know, they're
Right.
there to see music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that I do this a lot where I'm like, oh, this thing isn't going to be that big of a deal. This isn't going to be that big of a deal. And then it is.
Yeah.
Like it is. When we were like, when we opened for Shiny Ribs, I'm like, well, there's not going to be anybody there when we're playing. No one's going to,
Yeah.
I mean, a few of my people were like, I started getting these texts like, oh, hey, I bought tickets. I'm like, okay, like 10 people text me. They're like, I bought tickets. And then we go out on the stage and it's packed. Like the whole place is like, it's packed. And I'm like, okay, we got to give them a show.
Yeah.
We got to do that. So I think this is, I should be more prepared for this. I think it's like going back to that whole JD thing that we were talking about. I just don't want to be, like go there and get all like, yeah, and then, like nothing. I'd rather be surprised than, let down. But I really feel like I should be more prepared for this one because it could be, it's going to be good no matter what. But I think we should really,
of course, man.
Just do our job. Just do the job. Just do the job.
And
So-
also, you want to be invited back. You know what I mean? I always want to be invited, even if it's something I don't like. I'm like, I don't want to not
that's
be
true.
invited back.
Right? Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
You and Natalie doing any songs together?
I think we're still trying to figure that out. I would like to. We've got a little bit of time for this before. There's going to be some sets where I might back her up on some stuff, and then there's definitely going to be like the house concert thing. It's going to be her for an hour and then me for an hour. But then we have like other showcases and stuff where we'll like kind of sing on each other's tunes or whatever. I mean, we'll
cool.
figure it out. But it's gonna be really nice to collaborate with her. I'm really excited. She's someone that I really look up to a lot as a songwriter, and just as a person, as a musician.
She's a good person.
She's a great person.
You know what she's a good example of? A good Christian person. Because a lot of times you see a lot of hypocrisy going on over there. A bunch of assholes saying stuff.
Don't even get me started.
But Natalie Price is like, she's an actual real, like, I believe her.
Yeah.
I believe she has faith and she's trying to be a good person in this world. That's what she takes from that.
And she is, we do, I don't know if you know this, but she started a Bible study.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
It seems, I mean, that's...
and I've been going to it.
Oh, you have? Mm-hmm. Are you? You have faith? Sorry.
No.
My relationship to religion and faith is so weird that even when I ask about it, it sounds weird. You know what I mean? So you have faith?
Yeah.
That's good, man. Are you married? You're married, right?
No. I'm divorced.
You're divorced.
I'm divorced.
That's right.
And I'm dating a wonderful specimen of a lady. Right now.
Is that something, because I know with Natalie, that's a thing that she, like, in her life, she doesn't want to date a person that doesn't have the same sort of faith values that she does,
right.
Which I respect that as well.
The equally yoked thing. Yeah. I mean, it's, my faith walk has been, how do I put it? So, like, I met my current girlfriend as I was becoming, as I was getting back to the faith. And so, like, when I say back to, I mean, like, since, like, high school. So she's, like, we were going to church and all that other stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happened when, we decided that we were going to, like, move in together and, and start this life together and get married and all this other stuff. But, like, moving in together, I think, really set some stuff off religiously with the church that I was at. And it kind of took her out of the faith more so than it probably...
You mean judgment-wise? They were like...
Yeah.
You're gonna live together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing, and
Jesus, it's 2023.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, come
I
on.
know, but I mean, I
Church people.
yeah, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, and it's, I mean, I get it, I totally get it, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, I love this woman, and I, you know, like,
Yeah.
I see, you know, something happening here, and you know, I don't think, I mean, I don't think it's a situation where we're like unequally yoked. I mean, she, you know, we talk about religion, we talk about the Bible and all that stuff. I mean, she's taken a little bit of a break since,
Yeah.
you know, all that falling out and everything, which I totally and completely understand. But I'm just, you know, I'm patient, and that's all I can be, and I can be a good example, and all that, and just, you know, kind of meet her where she's at. And I think that's, you know, where that's at. It's not, you know, religiously, like from a Christian perspective, it's not, you know, the easiest thing in the world with my faith, you know, because my faith is like growing quite a bit. But it's I don't know. It's something that I take day by day.
I see your activism in the community as that sort of, as it's not faith based, but I believe
Right.
that comes from having some sort of like helping others thing.
Sure.
Which is what Christians.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does that. I mean, you help. I mean, you helped me, you know,
I did.
just by giving me a platform to, you know.
I did, man.
Of course you.
I like it. It's your third time on the show.
Yeah. Is it my
It's the
third time?
third. Weren't you? First time it was Zoom, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And then the second
right.
time was Ismail was here last year.
That's right.
And now
Yep.
you're here again. Regular. I think you're an every year guest, like a regular guest.
I would love to be a regular guest. See, you're helping me already.
Well, no, I like you, and I like your music a lot, and you really are really nice, a good person, like Natalie. Like, that's the thing that I always think, like, I always wonder, and I don't mean this in any way, I just think, like, Natalie's, like, too good of a person to be in this business, and one day she's just gonna look around and be like, okay, everyone's an asshole, I'm out. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
know?
I think...
It can be pretty gross. And I don't even mean sexually. I just mean like in a business sense, it is gross.
Yeah. But I you know,
but I love it.
I think she has more resiliency than a lot of people that I know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because of you know, her faith. Her faith, I think that she's definitely a warrior for sure. And again, I look up to her, you know, for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know. So
that's good, man. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have a good time.
I think we're gonna have a great time. Yeah, and you know, we're figuring out the lodging logistics and all that stuff right now. Still, yeah. I mean, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I mean, if I got to sleep, you know, on a sofa, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, it's gonna be great. It'll be nice to go out there. It'll be nice to shake some hands and kiss some babies and play some music and come back and, you know,
do some more
hopefully.
babies. Yeah. This you will have already played Portland by the time this comes out on Friday, but on Friday you're playing the Kala Performance Space in Astoria, Oregon.
Yes.
And then Saturday, March 25th, you guys are playing Weeping Cedar House Concert in Seattle, Washington. Fabulous. Seattle, Washington. And then Thursday, the 30th, you're playing Resonance Events in Bellevue, Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should be really fun. And for those of you that are attending the 36th Annual Old Settlers Music Festival, featuring great music from Yola, Matt the Electrician, Leyline, the Wood Brothers, Shiny Ribs, Sunny War, so many artists, 4 days of great music and camping. And all kinds of. Do you camp? Are you a camping guy?
I haven't camped in a long time.
Yeah,
I might do it though.
They take place Thursday, April 20th through Sunday, April 23rd. I wonder if they at Old Settlers Homestead. There's a map and everything. Go to oldsettlersmusicfest.org. oldsettlersmusicfest.org for tickets and more information and a full lineup of everyone that's playing. If I didn't say it in the intro, do you think they started on 420 for a reason? Is that Burning Man? Is that too Burning Man of me to think that?
No. That's why I was like, is it Burning Man?
I've
light,
never
or is
been
it
to Burning Man.
I've never been.
I'm
to Burning
scared
Man
of going. I always feel like I'm 54. Like the only reason I'd be at Burning Man is to be like creepy and see naked people and
right.
You know,
if I go out there, I'm not coming back. I just I'm just I'm not gonna be like they turned to me. That's it. I'm worshiping an idol out there. It's
Tell me a little bit more about South by Southwest. Did you have a good time? I mean, did you get out? And...
I had a great time, man. It was I was gigging my little heart out. It was really, it was South by is always this thing every single year where it's like it just kicks off the music. It just kicks off music for Austin for the entire year, and it was really nice this year. That it was ironically. Not having an official anything, it was the busiest South by I ever had.
Right,
which is really it's really great to see that and to have experienced.
Yeah, on the intro of the podcast that came out on Tuesday, I talked about how I felt like it's back in full force again. You know, like it's back doing its thing, and a lot of that also has to do with the fact that all of the unofficial things that like people that live here that don't need to go see the latest buzz band at the coolest thing, and you know what I mean, and like do all the official. There's plenty of stuff going on in neighborhoods. There's the SoCo Stomp that was like that was unofficial,
right? Yeah,
and then musicians actually get paid and stuff. And then there's a lot of free stuff. I went to ABGB on Saturday and saw Cotton Mather play.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I did like I am concerned though, and the reason why so I woke up this morning and I read some of Andy Langer's tweets on Twitter about how this, like, in a nutshell, I believe that he was kind of saying that South by Southwest was didn't perform as well as it did or should have. It was, I think it's like down from last year and definitely down from like 2019 or something. I don't know.
It's down from, I thought it was purposely smaller last year.
I think it was purposely smaller last year. It was purposely smaller last year because of that stuff that happened. I can't remember when it happened, but I don't know. I think there's some stats that are going to come out about turnout and like who's the owner of Chirp Charlie? She had said something about like how they had like booked them as a venue and then didn't. I'm just not gonna. I'm just not.
Well, also, I mean, nothing against Langer. We've been friends for 30 years and very good friends.
Yeah.
But his job is to shit on stuff.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily, but he is like a critic,
Is he a critic?
He used to be a rock critic, then he became a DJ guy and like the host of New Year's and like everyone's favorite guy. But he also like I wasn't as involved with everything like he was. So maybe he's seeing stuff that you and I didn't even see.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I thought he was like a radio guy.
He's a radio guy. He's a lot of stuff. I mean, he's been. I mean, he was. Like when he first started writing for the Chronicle, for the Austin Chronicle in the early '90s, and my band first started. We kind of happened at the same time. I believe that my band, Mr. Rockababy, was the first feature that he ever wrote for the Chronicle.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's right. He was the only guy that was out every single night, and he was at everything. Like, you know what I mean? He was at the touring show. He was at the weird show at Hole in the Wall. He was at someone's happy hour as well at like some Mexican place. You know what I mean? Like he was at everything every night. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I will say he I mean, for some, like he's, I don't know. He's a, and he tells it like it is. I have a funny story. There was a time when I had an album coming out and I had been in Los Angeles for like a week and some stuff had gone down that I had kind of perpetuated my own self, by not realizing what a press show was and wearing a shirt that said, "Fuck you, Fred Durst," to make one person in the audience laugh and then not realizing that the press was there. And then that turned into like a whole scene and I was getting yelled at by people and stuff. And then I came home and I opened the Chronicle and Andy was coming to pick me up to take me somewhere. And I opened the Chronicle and this guy, it wasn't even that bad. I don't even know what he said, but he said something and it just like, it really hurt my feelings to the point where I started crying. Like everything. Like I started crying and I called Langer. not the guy you should call when you're crying. But he goes, basically like, I'm going to paraphrase it. Basically like, if this is like killing you, you better get out of it because it's only going to get worse, dude. Plus, like, wash your face. I'm going to be there in 15 minutes to pick you up. Like, get it together. Like, that was his response. And he was right. He was right because no one was going to start being nicer.
Right. Yeah.
So I needed to just kind of like get it together, put on my big boy pants.
Right.
Yeah. But I did call him crying. And he was like, no. This is not the call you make to me. Like, call your grandma, dude.
Yeah. Is but it worked. I mean, it worked out. I guess that whole Fred Durst situation kind of thing or something.
I just kind of went away.
Yeah, it just went away. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't that important.
Right.
But I was wearing a shirt, and I'd been signed to Lars Ulrich's label, and it was at the time when he fought Napster. So when he very first started fighting Napster, he put together people like, hey, I need other like rock stars. Like, and he said to Fred Durst, like, are you with me on this? He's like, oh, dude, totally. And then like literally the next day, or 2 days later, like I'm not joking. Like one day he talked to Lars, and like 2 days later, Lars opens the paper and it's like Napster is sponsoring Limp Bizkit's tour. And Lars was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
He was bummed.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to make him, because I didn't like Fred Durst anyway. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to play. When I turn around in red letters, this shirt will say, fuck you, Fred Durst. And he'll start laughing. But like the NME and like Rolling Stone and Spin were all like, I didn't put the two things together.
Yeah.
Until afterwards.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. It was a dumb way to I kind of felt like, oh shit, that's my introduction to the world, is being this little dick screaming that he doesn't like a rock star. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck do you think you are, dude?
Yeah.
You're playing at the Viper Room. That guy's playing at like the Forum.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I see.
So anyway.
I see.
Yeah. That was a pretty boring story. I might edit that out.
No. I mean,
it's an embarrassing story. And there's nothing worse than like, I remember our guitar player yelling at me in our manager's office and going like, if all of this stops, it's because of you and because of your stupid fuck. You think you're so fucking funny. Wow. And I was just like, I'm sorry. So I got back. I was kind of tender. And then I opened the paper and they're like, oh, this dude's a dick. And I was like, why does everybody hate me? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's so funny. Like, I love being able to look back at that stuff because it really does make me laugh because I was like, man, all that stuff was just rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the opportunity behind that, that's, I don't know. I don't know. I would kind of like to have a problem like that.
Well, in my way, I was also like, well, people probably weren't going to talk about us.
Right.
Like, we might have just gotten like 3 sentences. Now we got a whole paragraph.
That's true.
Because I'm a dick.
Right. Timing.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Scott Strickland, you love this whole, like you love it. You're a lifer.
I
you
think so. I think I believe until I feel moved to do something else or get into something else, I think that this is.
Do you have any hobbies?
This is.
Yeah, you're one of those guys. Yeah, I don't even play golf or anything.
Yeah, no. I like to swim. I like to hike.
Yeah,
I
me
go
too.
for walks with my dog. I mean,
Hey, we should dog walk.
We should dog walk.
I totally do that. Like, we go to Redbud.
Yeah.
I go there with Kelly McWee. You know her?
I do not.
She's got a great dog.
I've probably met her before.
We were supposed to go today. She texted me and she was like, it's too ugly to go this afternoon. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they would get along real well together.
Yeah, good. Where'd she go? Oh, she's just sleeping.
Rosie and Nova. Yeah.
Rosie and Nova.
Well,
dude, it's great to have you back on the show, and I'm really excited. I think you've had a really good year, and I know that like having to constantly be juggling and keep the thing from falling apart.
Yep.
The triage model that you talked about, which is so true for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. It's definitely it's the most rewarding I've ever. It's definitely the most rewarding thing I think that I've done career wise for sure.
Yeah.
This is, it's great.
And your Monday night live streams, are they available for everyone? Or
Yeah.
they're
It's
on Facebook.
I go on Facebook. It's either me. I mean, I say it's either me. It's always me, but it's either I'm doing it live or I'm like maybe replaying another show or something that I did before. Because I've been doing them. I had been doing them for a while, and then I stopped doing them for a little bit, of course, and then slowly started to ramp it back up. But I've got a bank of streams. I think the idea is just to figure out some kind of way to stay visible and have that performance energy while also kind of playing maybe a few new tunes or something or some cover songs and just kind of talking and hanging out with people. I don't know what it is about live streaming, but I really enjoy it a lot. I really do. So I hope that I think it'll stick around for a while.
Oh, you'll be doing one from your tour.
I may. Well, yeah, yes, we will. That's the resident show.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's the resident show. That one's $25 to see though.
Okay.
But yeah, that will be happening. But I'll probably have a rerun playing while I'm also out there doing that stuff.
Okay.
So, fun times.
People can find you at scottstrickland.com. If you're interested in going to the 36th Annual Old Settlers Music Festival, which features our guest today, Scott Strickland, on Friday, April 21st at 11 p.m., you can go to oldsettlersmusicfest.org and get tickets there. If you need anything from Scott Strickland, go to scottstrickland.com. If you're up in the Northwest, which I'm sure some of you are, because I see them.
Yeah. ScottStricklandBand.com.
Oh, shit. I'm
no, it's
sorry.
okay. It's all good. No.
Thanks, buddy.
It's okay.
Sometimes I just get excited.
No, it's okay.
ScottStricklandBand.com.
That's right.
All right, ScottStricklandBand.com. Everyone get out there and see it. You can check them out. Anything else?
I love you all. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And I'll be back next year.
What time is your shows Monday night? 8?
8.
8 p.m. Monday night.
8 Central.
Yeah. 8 Central. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Saying that you wanna go back to LA, start over.
Gang, that was Scott Strickland. Get out there and see his set at Old Settlers Music Festival Friday, April 21st at 11 p.m. You can see him. He is on tour with Natalie Price as we speak in the Pacific Northwest. So go to scottstricklandband.com for information on how to find out where Scott's playing. And if you want to go to the Old Settlers Music Festival, the 36th Annual Old Settlers Music Festival, go to oldsettlersmusicfest.org and get your tickets, all right? And hey, gang, while you're out there checking out all those websites, don't forget that you can subscribe to this podcast wherever it is that you find podcasts, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Overcast, Stitcher, anywhere. New shows every Tuesday and every Friday. Been dropping some From the Vault episodes on Saturday nights. I don't really say when I'm going to do it. But there's 2 great ones if you're a power pop fan and a fan of the band Jellyfish. I talked to the guy who wrote the book about Jellyfish quite a few years ago. That's up from a couple weeks ago. And then I spoke to Roger Joseph Manning Jr. and Tim Smith from Jellyfish on this show from this past Saturday, which you can find in this feed where you're listening to this show right now. I want to thank Scott for doing the show. Hi, Natalie, if you're listening to the show because you're out on tour with Scott. I miss you. All right, thanks for listening to the show. Have a great weekend, whatever it is you do. And come see Skyrocket tonight if you live in Austin. Friday, March 24th, 3:10, Austin City Limits live. Have a good weekend. Let's get down.
Lord knows that I did wrong, did a bad thing. Some bad things you just know that you can't erase. But you still could have had me in autumn when the leaves turn. Campfire in the wood it burns. Texas orange sky getting high all afternoon. Saying that you wanna go back to LA. It's not over. You can take it as you need it. Take your time in LA. I'll be here when you need me. Save me for a rainy day.